Okay, this is for the gamers out here. This episode is mainly for people who enjoy playing a good video game constantly or every now and then. This is for the gamers. So, this is a time and space for us to geek out for a moment because this has been something that's been on my mind for the last 2 months. And it just made me just remember the entire lore of this particular video game that I've heard this news about. And I immediately was trying to write the perfect outline for myself to try and talk about my love for this game, my excitement for this new chapter that's going into. But I stopped, tried to focus on something else because it just didn't really sit right with me. And now I'm coming back, I'm talking about it. I'm talking about the game Life is Strange. Life is Strange is a game that was developed by this company called Nod, and the first game released in 2015, and it's this choice-based adventure that follows around Max Caulfield going back to her hometown, Arcadia Bay in Oregon, Oregon. Yeah, that's how you say it. In Oregon, to her new high school, Blackwell Academy. She has a dream in class that she ends up in a huge storm and the town gets wiped out by a tornado. She comes out of this vision and immediately realizes that she can reverse time. So, this whole game, she is trying to prevent this storm from happening while also finding out a mystery of her best friend's friend, Rachel Amber, and what happened to her. So, when I heard that the game was getting another sequel to the game, Double Exposure, I immediately was just so excited about it. And I've been watching the trailer on and off for the past 2 months. And let me tell you what the trailer has been about. So, the trailer centers around Max and a new college in Vermont called Caledon College. A small, a small note on my part. I thought that Blackwell Academy was a college because it had dorms, but it didn't occur to me at the time because I was so young. I was 9 years old when it came out. I'm 18 now. It didn't occur to me that private schools exist and they have dorms, and it didn't occur to me that was it was a private school. It did not occur to me. But anyway, she's in a new she's in a she's going to college now. She's made new friends called Safi and Moses. We'll get to them later. She sees her friend Safi murdered and uses her powers to find out who killed her friend and prevent her death. This is also something that is a reoccurring theme in the game because in the first game, Max sees her friend Chloe get shot and killed by another character, Nathan Prescott. And this is actually the main cause that set off her powers, that she can realize that she can reverse time. So this whole game, in the first game of Life is Strange, Chloe dies in many different ways because we prevented her death. If you played the game, by the way, if you played the game of Life is Strange, you would know that Chloe Price constantly dies every single chance. And I was thinking about this yesterday. I think it's because of the butterfly effect. That's the main cause. I mean, it's a reoccurring symbol of the game, the butterfly effect. If you do something, it will show up on the screen saying this action will have consequences, good or bad. Everything happens for a reason in Life is Strange. Everything is connected. Everything has its own purpose, and nothing is to be rushed. You have to talk to everyone. You have to interact with the entire environment of Life is Strange. You have to basically you can't really rush the game. That's what I keep saying. You cannot rush the game of Life is Strange. Everything happens for a purpose. So, yeah. But because we prevented Chloe's death, I believe that maybe it was supposed to happen. And so each and every time Chloe dies, it becomes bigger than the next. Say she got shot in the bathroom, so she gets shot again in the chest when we go out to the junkyard and start practicing shooting with her gun. She almost gets run over by a train in the second episode, too. She dies of an overdose because in an alternate timeline, she gets into a car accident, and that's a whole other story, too, but we'll get into that, too. And it's like this constant reoccurring like theme, like maybe that Chloe was supposed to die. We don't want Chloe to die. If you're obviously like fans of Chloe, I mean Chloe's problematic as like, I mean who isn't problematic, but like Chloe, we don't want Chloe to die. So like, but each and every time Chloe dies, it's like bigger than the next. But yeah, that's gonna like that is a recurring theme, and in the game of double exposure, we're also going to be preventing like Staffy's death multiple times because like we prevented her main death. So like maybe like she has to, so it's like she's still like in constant danger. So she's like gonna be dying at every single possible opportunity, and it's gonna be bigger than the next. It's gonna be more brutal, and it's just gonna be like so crazy. Another huge update of the game is like what we can expect is like again new characters, and obviously some characters won't be returning, which is so sad. There's been a lot of concern over the fact that maybe Chloe might not be in double exposure. This is because maybe like 2 or 3 teasers or other clips, and even like sort of like a gameplay of the game came out, and Chloe was nowhere to be seen in sight. But she does show up, or is just simply mentioned because Max has a picture of her in her wallet that her friend Safia Fayad, the one who got murdered, I mispronounced her name earlier, she mentions her. So maybe like Chloe plays like a minor role in it. Maybe they're still in contact, but some people are thinking maybe Max and Chloe broke up. That is, if you played the game and you chose to sacrifice Chloe, and then in that case, in that timeline, she's dead. But if you sacrifice Arcadia Bay, then they're together and they've ran away. And if you play Life is Strange 2, they lived out in the desert and I think in Arizona with David for a while, which is, I like that little connection. I like how we still like kept in all the characters. That's good. That's good continuity right there. But anyway, another thing to expect is a new update in Max's powers, because not only that she can't just simply like hold her hand out and like reverse time, she can now open up parallel timelines and go into and actually feel energies in the room to like see what's going on. And it's explained like more in a video on YouTube that delves more into it. But it's very cool that Max can go more further in time because, and especially like the different timelines, that was briefly explored in the first game, because I forgot to mention, this is also a huge disclaimer. If you're interested in playing the game of Life is Strange and you don't want any more spoilers, then just simply stop the episode, go watch the gameplay on YouTube, or buy the game for your convenient game console, whether it be Xbox One, PS5, computer, or PC, whatever. If you don't really care that much, or you already played the game and you're just simply like you just simply want to like listen in, then continue on listening to it. I forgot to mention that, yeah, this is a huge disclaimer for like spoilers for those who haven't really heard of Life is Strange and are interested in it. But, anyway. It was touched briefly in the first game when Max was looking at a picture of her and Chloe I think 5 years ago. Yeah, it was 5 years ago. And she goes back in time. She unexpectedly goes back in time to the day that Chloe's father, William, died. This Chloe's father's death set off a chain of events in Chloe's life. And without Chloe's father's death, she wouldn't have met Rachel. She wouldn't have gone punk girl. She wouldn't have done all those things. She wouldn't be Chloe. And yeah, she wouldn't be Chloe. But Max went back in time, and she thought that she can stop William from dying. But even though she succeeded in stopping William's death, something else happened when she returned back to the main timeline. She found out that Chloe got into a car accident not too long ago, and it rendered her completely paralyzed. And this kind of left her and her family in a very rough financial situation, and Chloe was also slowly dying in the process, and she was miserable, and it was all shit. So she asked Max to kind of help her end her life by cranking up one of her IVs to overdose her so she can die peacefully. Max sadly agrees, and she quickly just goes back to the main timeline. She goes back in time to that day and just let William, get into that car accident because he died in a car accident, and the timeline was set back to normal. So I liked how they kind of expanded that whole process of going back into parallel times, because Max can do that, and now her power has updated, it's expanded. I'm very, very excited to see how that will play out in that game. And they actually released a video telling us how to do it and what to expect on being able to go back and forth between these timelines. These two particular timelines are very important because, like I said before, Max has to figure out who killed her friend, Safia Fayed. So she goes back into one timeline where Safia is alive and another where she's dead. These two alternate timelines she has to jump back and forth in order to solve the mystery, and it will be very fun to see how that's going to play out. And so much more supernatural and darkness. That's the best part about Life is Strange. It can be so real, but it can be so fun and adventurous and very cool. Let's get into the two characters that we've been introduced. The two main characters that I want to talk about is Safia Fayed and Moses Murphy. Now I have these two videos that explain that explain the whole that explain their whole that. These two videos from Life is Strange TikTok page give the general basis of these two characters and what role they play in this series. Obviously, Safia is one of the main characters that dies, but also she also plays another part in the game. So without further ado, the first video I'm going to let you guys listen to is the one they're talking about Safia Llewellyn Fayed. Okay.
Safi Llewellyn Fayed is an aspirational poet, daughter of Caledon's president Yasmin, and Max's closest new friend. Striving to bring Max out of her shell and find her roots in Vermont, Safi always has Max's back. Gotcha, boss. A true people person, Safi loves getting to know those around her better and really dig beneath the surface of what makes them tick. Unfortunately, tragedy strikes on Caledon campus when she's murdered in a way that seems entirely impossible. No murder weapon, no footprints in the snow, nobody around. And when Max tries to tap into her atrophied power to rewind time and undo the disaster, Max ends up opening a parallel timeline, one where Safi is still alive, but still in imminent danger. As you step into the shoes of Max Caulfield, will you be able to save Safi and solve her murder?
Okay, so again, Sophia is Max's closest new friend, much to the disappointment of many fans because we're like, what happened to Chloe? What happened to Chloe? We want Chloe. I know. I want Chloe to come back too. But also, let's give Sophia a new chance. And, I, again, I can't, I don't really, I really want to see, like, where does this really all go to? And I guess them mentioning that Max's power has atrophied over time. I'm guessing that ever since the Arcadia Bay incident and the storm and all that, she probably, for understandable reasons, she probably hasn't used her power in a very long time. Understandable, yes, but I don't know. I feel like she's used it like again before. And I don't know. She seems like a good like new character, and I feel like I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Like is I don't. I think she might be Max's all. I hope. I don't know. Is she Max's new love interest? I have to like look that up. I have to like do some like googling of my own. But anyway, the other character that Max is friends with is Moses Murphy. So let me play the video of the Life is Strange team describing Murphy.
Moses Murphy is a lovable astrophysicist with an endless fascination for how systems and defined sets of rules work, be it games, manga, anime, and sci fi, or the universe itself. Moses found physics a natural fit for his interests. When Moses was recruited to Caledon by Safi's mother and president of the university, Dr. Yasmin Fayyad, he was initially unsure about the school. But Safi's warm welcome and understanding of his needs more than anyone else cemented his stay. And despite their different fields of study and personalities, their bond has proven unmovable. When tragedy strikes and Safi's murdered on campus, Moses is naturally devastated. But with his inquisitive mind and vast knowledge of science, can he help Max make sense of her new time-bending powers and ultimately solve the mystery of Safi's death?
So obviously Moses Murphy. Okay. I actually like this character. I also think that the way that he's written, I think he's neurodivergent, which will also like play into like good representation. I cannot talk today. Representation, and I guess I have to like play the game to like really like have an opinion on this character. But anyway, I like him so far. So another, I guess like in a way to like kind of like close this episode out, I guess I want to talk about how did I first how did I first hear the game, and like how did I like get into this whole series. So again, like I said, Life is Strange is a game developed by Nod, and it had 5 episodes. The main purpose of it was Max Caulfield being an 18-year-old girl who has time. She can rewind time, and she and her best friend Chloe, who she saved from dying, have been trying to like figure out the whole mystery of Rachel Amber, Chloe's missing friend or love interest, and also try to figure out how to stop this big storm from tearing up their entire town. My sister saw the gameplay many years ago, I think in the same year, 2015, and she showed me the gameplay, and immediately, like, we both fell in love with the game. And we downloaded the game, like, we bought the game online soon after, I think, like, in the same week. I don't remember, but we played the game constantly, and we were so shocked when we figured out it was Mark Jefferson who was doing all these shady things, who was killing these girls and like taking pictures of them. Because to be honest, we all thought it was Nathan. Like anyone who's played the game first try without even like looking at the gameplays, we all thought it was Nathan. All the clues, we were all just so, we've been hoodwinked. We were all hoodwinked. And playing the game, like after like the first time, like by myself, I just shake my head like, oh my god, we were so stupid, because all the evidence that was Mark Jefferson who was doing all these murders, it was so obvious. It even like said in his first lines in the first episode was like, if I remember it clearly, he said, "I can frame any one of you in a dark corner and capture you in a moment of vulnerability." How did we miss this? Obviously, we wouldn't have. I don't know. How did we miss this? I'm still shaking my head. If anyone who played the game the first try and they figured it out automatically that it was the teacher, good job. Good job. You're smarter than the rest of us when we played that game. Oh, oh my god. We were so stupid. I was so stupid too. Oh my god. Obviously, me and my sister were rooting for Max and Chloe the entire time. I don't know why some people thought that Max and Warren were like supposed to be together. They were like shipping these two, but obviously Max did not even like the guy at all. Max and Chloe do like make a good pair, but I also feel like the only thing that they have in common it was the fact that they were best friends 5 years ago. And even then, like Max hasn't been like a good friend to Chloe in the past few years, so it's like all they were ever talked about in every single interaction, all the other episodes was like what they did as kids and like catching up. Which obviously, like if you haven't seen a friend in a while, obviously you want to catch up and like all that stuff. But also they're mainly like talking about like murder, how to like solve the case and like all that. So it's like, what else do they have in common? They're just like two different people. So it's obvious that Chloe, on some level, even though she was mad at Max and she misses her friend, she also kind of like, they both kind of like outgrew each other. Hell, Max has been at Blackwell for over a month and she didn't even bother to like call Chloe up and like text her at all. And she can like say that, oh, I just didn't want to like, I just wanted to settle in and all that. But like, Max, be for real. Be FFR. Be fucking for real. You did not want to contact Chloe at all. You just didn't want to contact Chloe at all. Like you just threw her to the side. Just be honest. You could have like texted her like at least once. Like when you're in. Anyway. I don't know, that kind of like pisses me off. Like, it's just so obvious that like Max, she just did not want to like contact Chloe at all. She just wanted to leave that friendship where, and like, she just wanted to like leave it in the past. There's nothing wrong with that, but like Max, like be honest, girl. Like, seriously, don't give Chloe all that shit. And also, Chloe, I like as I play the game again, I feel for her. I really do. I really feel for Chloe. I get that she felt abandoned by Max, and she has every right to be upset about it. And even playing the prequel game that we also played before the storm, I understand her pain. But like Chloe, she really like hangs that over Max's head in almost every single like conversation. It's like, girl, when are you going to get over it? Like, Max doesn't owe you shit. Even though it was wrong for Max to like sever all contact, Max doesn't owe you a thing. If she wants to like go no contact with you, just let her go no just let her go no contact. Just let her just let her go. If she wants to walk out of your life, just let her go, Chloe. Like, anyway, it makes no sense. It literally like makes no sense. It's just Chloe, she can also be kind of toxic. Like when David walked into her room and like found the pot. If we don't like say that it's not our pot or or we don't step in, Chloe automatically gets mad, and obviously David hits her, which is like a terrible thing. It's like she finds it a way to like continuously be mad at Max for understandable but sometimes like stupid reasons, to the point where it's like, okay, Chloe, we feel for you, but it's like, let this shit go. Like, how long are you gonna be upset about this? Like, it's just so frustrating. But yeah, me and my sister also played Before the Storm, which was a good way to like see like Chloe's point of view of like how everything went down, like after Max left and her dad died, which is probably like 2 years later when she was 16. And also we get to see Rachel Amber, which is good. But also another like note. Rachel Amber has been used as like this huge mystery, like this overarching mystery of like Life is Strange. Everyone has this whole they all have their like own perception of Rachel. And it's obvious as I'm like now like looking back at the gameplay, like as through an older lens. Rachel obviously is not perfect. She's low-key kind of calculating, and she's kind of unintentionally like manipulating a little bit. And it's kind of hard to trust her sometimes in like interactions. Like from the start of their relationship, Rachel was already like lying and playing games. If you just have to like play the game again or watch the gameplay of Before the Storm, and you'll see she's low-key a puppet master. Although I would have liked for the creators of Life is Strange to add like another episode where we get to play as Rachel, and it's set 2 weeks before, 2 weeks or like a month, either in that period of time, like 2 weeks or a month before her death. That way we get to see everything from her point of view, so we can finally get to understand Rachel through Rachel, not Rachel through Chloe, because like even though we get to see her in Before the Storm, she's still portrayed through Chloe's lens, how Chloe perceives Rachel. And even though there's some neutralness to it, it's still romanticized. Chloe still like puts Rachel up on a pedestal, even when other characters kind of like call out some of the absurdities of Rachel's actions. It's hard to like reason with Chloe, because again, Chloe is in a dark place. We have to remember Chloe's dad just died, or like it's been 2 years. 2 years, I think. Her mom is like putting a man before the two of them, and it's just not good. The last section of like, I guess I wanted to like talk about like why I love the series overall, to finally like bring it to a close. The story, obviously, I feel like Life is Strange tells like a huge message. It's like such a beautiful series of like, I wish I knew how to explain. Like, it's just so, I don't know. You just have to play. Like, the story is so good. It's very entertaining. It's very dark. It's so mature. It's funny. And there's no true right or wrong answers to like how you play the game. It's just what's canon in your head, and like, what will be will be. The animation is also good. This game low-key makes me want to like continue my pursuit of like potentially like becoming like an animator or like a video game designer, because like video games are like a huge higher market. But unfortunately, I'm not that tech savvy, and even though I do a podcast, even editing, I figured it out like how to like simply do it like a month ago. So I don't know how like work computers. But the animation is very beautiful. It's very detailed, especially in the like remastered version. I feel like the animators like did such a good job of like enhancing like the facial features, because in the old gameplay of the game, it looks kind of like stiff, but like in the remastered version you see more emotion to it. You see more, obviously, like more textures in like their clothes and the scenery. And yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about the animation. And the most important thing that I like about the series is the casual representation of like LGBT, the casual queer representation that the game like produces. Like Life is Strange is just such a beautifully like queer story. And the best thing about it, the best thing about it is like sexuality wasn't really like the biggest thing in the game. Like it was barely treated as like this huge thing. It was like, oh yeah, here, you know. Obviously, like the majority of the main characters in like all the map and all the Life is Strange series and stories, and all of the characters in the Life is Strange series is a part of the community. Max is bisexual. Chloe is gay, obviously. Rachel Amber is bisexual. And the second game, Life is Strange 2, we have Sean being bisexual, Finn being pansexual. I think a few other characters, I forgot their names, being gay. And in the Before the Storm, we have another lesbian character, Steph, who she also makes another appearance in another Life is Strange game, True Colors, with another bisexual lead, Alex, and another series that I feel like is connected to the Life is Strange series is Tell Me Why, which has been a game that came out maybe like 2 years ago, I remember. And it features a trans man character and who is also gay. And I liked how even when like they did casual representation of like these characters, it also like just touched on like serious topics of it. Like in Tell Me Why, Tyler's trans identity is casually like brought up, but like it's also like was treated with care and like sensitivity, and he was actually voiced by a trans male actor. And I liked, I don't know, I liked Tyler's journey. I wish that we get to like explore more of that series. Also, I feel like this episode could have been like a good episode for Pride Month, because I was planning Pride content, and when I thought about Life is Strange like a last in July, it was kind of too late to like, anyway. But anyway, that's kind of all I have to say for Life is Strange. I genuinely recommend you guys playing this game. I recommend you guys play the first game, Life is Strange Before the Storm, Life is Strange 2, Life is Strange True Colors, the mini game, The Adventures of Captain Spirit, which is connected to Life is Strange 2. And also, I recommend you guys play the new game, Life is Strange Double Exposure, which will come out, I think, next month, and I'm very excited. I will be one of the first customers. I'll try to get the game, and maybe I'll do another episode based on Life is Strange. This has been a favorite topic of mine, and I don't know, I just like talking about it. But anyway, that's kind of all I have to say. So thank you guys for listening to Pisces Prince. You can follow the podcast on Spotify. You can find the podcast on Spotify. New episodes will come out very soon. I'm trying to like finish out this season of Pisces Prince. I'm already like planning season 2 as we speak. So potentially more content will come soon on a regular basis. But I can't truly like promise anything, but anyway. You can also follow the podcast on Instagram at Pisces Prince Podcast. You can follow me, Nick.Marshall02, all lowercase. And you can also follow my TikTok. Hold on, let me pull it up. You can also follow my TikTok, JackXOXOXO _ all lowercase. And I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, night, week, year, whatever. And it's been a nice talk. We'll talk later. Bye.